Superstar Shake-up was last week, but we already have some major freaking changes. What's up, folks? Fred Richani, TSC, your home for pro wrestling news updates. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Raw is just in a few hours, but we already have some major breaking news courtesy of John Pollock of Post Wrestling. Cesaro has officially moved to Monday Night Raw. Now, you may recall, well, last week it was a Superstar Shake-up. We found out about all the shaking up, right? Not exactly. So, Cesaro was moved to Raw. It is unknown the status of Sheamus. I believe I saw a report out there, I believe it was from Dave Meltzer, that Sheamus is currently dealing with a concussion. So I don't know if that means that once he's healed up, knock on wood, he heals up quickly, that he joins Cesaro on Raw, or if he stays on SmackDown. To me, I think it's bad news if both guys break up. They were lost in the shuffle before then. Sheamus has always kind of been a company favorite, always kind of gotten a consistent push. Cesaro, on the other hand, while being a phenomenal wrestler, and not so much. And I just think both guys are just great together. And honestly, one of the best tag teams of the last decade, the last 25 years in WWE. I think that highly of them. They're great. But if this is an opportunity for Cesaro to finally shine again in singles competition and maybe even be in contention for the United States Championship, then I'm happy with that. Samoa Joe is widely expected to appear on Monday Night Raw. He was out sick last week, according to John Pollock, and it looks like the U.S. title is coming to Raw. It would make sense, right? Because Finn Balor is now on SmackDown. Now, people are wondering, who would Finn Balor face for the Intercontinental Championship, right? He's the IC champ. He needs opponents. Well, turns out Andrade, according to Pro Wrestling, she is moving back to SmackDown. That's right. Andrade, who, by the way, in real life is top star Charlotte Flair's boyfriend, is moving back to SmackDown. I wonder why. Well, could it be that Charlotte Flair is also on SmackDown, and that's why? I guess so. Zelina Vega is coming with him, and honestly, I'm kind of happy about that because, one, you want a happy Charlotte. She is one of your top stars. And two, I think SmackDown is just a better place overall for Andrade. And with the absence of Rey Mysterio, they're going to need some of that Latino heat. They're going to need a luchador, a lucha presence there. And Andrade is a fantastic pro wrestler. Although I am kind of pissed that we never got the resolution with Rey Mysterio and Andrade. We never got that big blow-off match. We never got a mask versus hair match or some kind of loser leaves town match. And, who knows? Maybe we'll get that at the next pay-per-view at Money in the Bank. Who knows? But I do feel like they never tied up that loose end, and I guess they're just never going to tie it up. As far as some other news right here, from what I understand, it looks like Dean Ambrose is pretty much wrapped up. Last night was his final date with WWE. So the Shield's last stand, it is officially official. I guess WWE's doing this big farewell tour, or did the big farewell tour, because they believe he's going to come back at some point or retire. So if this is the end of Dean Ambrose for now, I wish him the very best. And I guess WWE's lucky because they dodged the bullet. If he's given the intimation, if he's given them the idea that he's going to come back or not sign with anybody else or not sign with anybody that's major competition in WWE, that's good for them. Better to have Dean Ambrose on ice and heal up than have him go to AEW or New Japan or anywhere else where he could potentially be competition to WWE. And if you haven't already checked it out, folks, I uploaded a couple of new news updates the last few days. Goldust is no more, released by WWE. And Dustin Rhodes, the man who reprised Goldust, will be facing off against Cody Rhodes, his younger brother, at AEW's Double or Nothing event on May 25th in Las Vegas, which presumably will be broadcast on pay-per-view. And I just put out a top 10 worst Money in the Bank winners list. From top to bottom, I ranked who I thought were the worst Money in the Bank briefcase winners of all time. Maybe you agree with me, maybe you disagree with me. I'd love for you guys to check it out and get your feedback. Until then, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to prep for Monday Night Raw tonight, and I'm sure we're going to have more chaos. All I can say is this would make a lot more sense if, we get a draft and trades and analysis as opposed to, hey, these random dudes show up. Hey, the Viking experience. Hey, the War Raiders are now the Viking experience. They have different names. Why? Because Vince McMahon felt like it. Yeah, that's not fun. Meanwhile, the NFL draft is going to draw huge ratings across 3 networks, and WWE's going to wonder why. Never change, Vince. Never change. Until then, folks, please like, share, take care. And if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe and enable notifications for more live updates like this. Until next time, as always,